Well, guten Tag, hello and welcome to Estering in Buxtehude for round 11 of the 2018 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Thanks for joining us. We are live, so share it with your friends, tell us where you're watching from, and yes, do not adjust your screens. It is sunny here in Germany. This is where it all starts, all the qualifying live this weekend. Literally, this is the start line, and it's an amazing, dynamic, dramatic circuit. It's the Ester ring, and it goes in a ring around us. Downhill round there, this is the start line, that's the Joker lap, and that is the famous turn 1. So we are round 11. Let's have a look at what's brought us here to now, this point. The penultimate round of the championship. We are in the north of Germany. We've come back from across the Atlantic in the States. We're near Hamburg, where of course the Beatles famously learnt to rock and roll. And this is a very rock and roll circuit. I'm joined by our distinguished commentary team this weekend, Tim Harvey and Andrew Coley. Now the big news as we come to Estering is we have a new world champion. In fact, a double world champion.
Yeah, not new, is he? I mean, it is new, clearly. But he retains the number 1. He's got it on the door now. You know, there was a little shrug of the shoulders when he took the title in Cotra. I think it was pressure off, got the job done. I think we can take a look back at some of the action from the Circuit of the Americas where he did it. This was the final, so moving across. Solberg, of course, have got the TQ spot, done a good job with wins in Q1 and Q2. I think Christopherson won one of the sessions in the end, but it was this hairpin here, not on this lap, that was the undoing of it. Solberg responded very quickly to Christopherson's Joker, which you have to do if you want to beat him. Don't give him 2 laps, he'll make up the overlap. On board here with Yohan looking super chilled. In fact, we don't see the move, but Solberg ran wide. One mistake, and that was it, he took it. So that was his 9th win of the season, and it's just an incredible performance, Neil. So a deserved world champion.
Now, we thought that last year was his domination, but this year's been even more domination. Tim, in your experience, when motorsport fans watch someone dominating a sport like this, they can go, oh, this is getting boring. But just give us an idea what goes on behind the scenes to deliver every weekend like that.
Well, the reality is he's just better in every department. You know, attention to detail. You can use cliches like man and machine in perfect harmony, but that doesn't happen by accident. He's working with his engineers, working with his team, he's driving beautifully, and it's a whole package. And
of course, he didn't just come out of nowhere when he jumped into that PSRX Volkswagen, did he? I mean, he was already good when we started back in 2014.
Yeah, he's paid his dues. He's racing a load of series, but, you know, he'd come to Rallycross with the family team. Obviously, got the drive. PSRX was crucial to be in a very good car at this level. But, you know, he'd won events in his own team, in his own car. And him and his dad, you know, he wanted to be a world champion. Looked at the series available. You can't just jump in F1 with aero. You can't just jump in rallying and learn pace notes. We can win this. They made a plan and they executed it. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, double world champion. Incredible.
But this is the one bogey track. He hasn't won here yet. So is he going to win here? We'll see you up in commentary very shortly, gentlemen.
Thanks, Neil.
Now, this is a little scary point here. We've got about 12,000 horsepower staring at us coming down the grid. And they're going to be... This is such a brilliant circuit. It is the oldest circuit currently on the championship. And it's so demanding, dramatic, that incredible tight Joker. It's a very short track, but a lot can happen during the course of a race. Now, we've just made our way down into the pre-grid area. You can see race 1 is about to take place. The drivers are already in their cars. Let's see if we can grab a word with Matthias Eckstrom. Now, the big story, Yohan Christopherson has won the championship, but 2nd place is very much up for grabs, and here are 2 of the people in potential line for it. And Matthias, you must come here with a lot of confidence and good memories, especially as you won here last year.
Yeah, last year was a good event for us for sure, but you know, new year, everything is new, we have a different car, so we struggle a bit in practice, but we hope to get it right now and see if we can give everything a run for a podium this weekend. But first Q1 and try and nail this.
And of course, the battle is very, very serious for 2nd in the championship. And give us an idea of just how important it is to come 2nd behind someone who's dominating so much like Yohan.
I think in general, everybody wants to be as good as possible. If that's 2nd, if that's 3rd, if it's the winner, doesn't really matter. Everybody wants to do their best. And now we have a great battle with 4 drivers. And I think this weekend is always very exciting because of the start and the first corner. So in the first heat, we are all in different heats. So at least the big fight will not come in Q1. Maybe it will come later, but it's quite interesting and also enjoying to be in such a battle.
And of course, you won the championship here when you became World Rallycross champion, and you had that incredible closest ever finish coming out of the Joker lap just over there. So all of that information must be good when you get into the car, knowing you can be very competitive here.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to know that you can be competitive, but like I say, being competitive is something you need to keep alive every day, and nowadays the competition is so close you can't afford to do any small hiccups or mistakes, so you have to be bang on the money, and I think we will be now for Q1 and see where we'll end up.
Okay, well, I'll let you go and get ready. Thank you very much, Matthias. Well, the crowds are gathered at this amazing place, and it's about to get very, very noisy. That's Sebastian Loeb, who's also in the fight for second in the championship. I'll hand you over to your commentators, Tim Harvey and Andrew Coley.
Looking forward to this, always looking forward to it, particularly looking forward to turn one. You know, we keep talking about it. I know it's tough for the drivers, but it's quite exciting for us, if we really honest. I stood up there during free practice, it's just mega. Weather's incredible, it's dry. We were expecting that maybe they would have watered the track and that this session would develop, but Tim, they don't seem to have watered it.
No, and I think that the later runners will be a little bit upset about that. They'd have liked it to have been quicker at the end, and it got quicker during practice by about a second. But it's going to be consistent, it'll be dusty for sure, but it'll be consistent.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to get things underway in a moment. Let's take a look at the championship standings as they are as we arrive here at the Estering. So, Yohan Christopherson, you can see at the top of the table there, is confirmed as the World Rallycross champion for the second year in a row because, of course, there are only 60 points up for grabs here and down in South Africa. But then this is where the fight is. Look, Eckstrom, 204, Solberg, 202, Baccarat, 200, Loeb, 195. It was just, yeah, it's just 9 points in it. And as I say, 60 up for grabs. Unfortunately for Timmy Hansen, engine changes have meant that he's received some penalties, and that has really dropped him out of that battle. Great job by Nicholas Gronholm, look, to be ahead of Kevin Hansen. Fantastic stuff. Right, let's have a look around the Estering then. We've got our cameras lined up. There is turn one. Tim, what a turn one, particularly this gravel braking zone.
Yeah, they come in at very high speed, 4th, 5th gear, hit the gravel as they're braking and turning. I was delighted to be here in 16 when Kevin Eriksson did that move. I'm looking forward to more of the same.
Oh, I love the fact that people still try it. They're like, well, if Kevin did it, I'll do it. Like, well, you know, a few of them haven't come off. We're talking to Liam Dorn, he said he tried. That's the exit, look. And you're going to see a lot of dirt here. You're going to see a lot of hanging dust, which is going to affect the drivers who are further back. But let's see what it's like. So we've got some cars on the line. It's 5 cars, and we've got 4 races for you in Q1. Let's take a look at the lineup for Q1, race 1. On the inside, Andreas Baccarat. Next to him, Rennie Munich. Kjetil Larsen, we're actually quite surprised to see him. He had a sizable off during practice. We think he hooked a wheel on the outside curb of the last corner and put it backwards into the wall underneath the spectators on the run up to turn 1. He went off in an ambulance. Glad to say he's okay, and the car is back in one piece. Double world champion Yohan Christopherson P4 and Tom Markland out in P5. Tim, great situation for Yohan. He's come here to the circuit, which is definitely a roll of the dice, you know, and he's secured the championship. So it doesn't actually matter.
I know.
He'll still want to win that.
Do you know what? People say, oh, he won't be so bothered now. He'll take his foot off the gas. I don't think so. He hasn't got to be world champion twice by doing that. He'll be on it.
Here we go. Look how close Mark and the Christopherson are. They've lined up to the side of their boxes to try and find a little bit more traction. Great start by both those guys. GCK be working on Christopherson, moves across, shuts the door on Munich and on Baccarat too. Watch here for the little shunts on the nose and the tail if you get a bit too deep. Christopherson quite deep there. Baccarat sideways. Mark has a look up the inside, but pretty tidy, Tim.
Yeah, and a great start that was by Christopherson. From 3rd on the grid, got the power down. That VW traction is fantastic.
Yeah, really, really good. You ride on board with Andreas Baccarat now, looking at his nemesis. He said he followed Yohan at Kota, talking to Baccarat yesterday. The traction of the Volkswagen out of the hairpins was just incredible. Everybody working to try to close the gap back. There's our commentary position, and we've got such a great view here. As you see Larsen head into the Joker lap and the other 4 streaming up. Look at this sideways into turn 1. It's wonderful car control.
Yeah, if you can see the in-car, we'll see some of that later from Baccarat. It's just a minute movements on the wheel, a touch of the handbrake to adjust the rotation of the car. Beautiful.
Anton Markland, of course, on his, I think it's his 2nd outing with GCK. He did the World Championship last time out at Kota, while Liam Doran in the 3rd car was in America's Rallycross. All 3 cars in the World Championship. Look at this, Baccarat hooking a wheel up over the curb. Tim, look how the Armco is literally the apex. There is no curb. If you want to set a fast lap time, you've got to run the mirror up the side of it.
You've got to be inch perfect, particularly through that Joker. It comes at the end of the lap. You hit the loose surface. You're pushing to get across the line, but you've got to be inch perfect.
Christopherson with the fastest lap of the day. Not a massive surprise. We've only had Super 1600 out so far. But, you know, interesting to see that he came in title. He'd been extremely busy with PR work, and he said to me, it wasn't an excuse, but he won the world title, he was flat out, and I think he didn't have time to do the prep he does. He was watching onboards for this place before he won the World Championship at Kota.
And he likes records, doesn't he? And he's on for record years, so why wouldn't you continue? Markland, I think, is doing a good job. He's been a help to the team, definitely. He had that test in Latvia when they could put sensors on the car and get some data, so little in-season testing available. I think he's really brought the team on.
Another fastest lap of the day for Yohan Christopherson, so he's banged them in there. Fantastic, look at that, runs the car out wide. Watch then here for him to enter into the joke lap. The joke lap now, look at the exit with the Cooper tyre branding, it's wider, but look at that concrete on the outside. Get the traction on the gas, this is going to be the target time. And it is a 225.543. 225.543.
And crucially, the track wasn't watered, so it was fast. He got the start, inch perfect. That's a great heat time.
Yeah, he means business, doesn't he? Absolutely. He always means business, but I love the fact he's, this is a track he hasn't had a good result on, and that hurts. He's like, I'm not having it. I'm not having a bogey track. I'm just going to come here and I'll find a way to beat it. Here's the result. There is that time, 225.543 for Yohan. Andreas Backer about 1.4 back. Markland third, Munich and Larsen. Markland did some good times in practice this morning as well. GCK been working hard on the starts, which was an area they felt they were losing out on. I thought the GCK machine got off the line pretty well. You can see here Backer having to immediately drop in behind Yohan. And look at the way the cars are rotating while still sliding forwards, Tim.
Yeah, with the power on, four-wheel drive, 600 horsepower, possibly a little bit less on the GCK cars, but they're working on it. David Blackworth from Pro Drives here this weekend, so...
He's actually in the spotters tower.
He is.
Yeah, up here now, hopefully listening in. So, yeah, legend from the rally world and, of course, from Pro Drive as well. So, yeah, those guys are not going to leave any stone unturned. And I think the three cars thing is interesting because of the amount of data you can harvest.
Totally. You get three drivers' feedback, three different setups to try each time.
Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. Brilliant start by Yohan Christopherson. He wins the first race of Q1.
Yohan, we get the idea that you really want to win here, and you've clearly done your homework on this place.
Yes, I have. I've done everything I can. I don't know if it's enough or if I've done the right homework, but I really tried to put a finger on what I should do to be fast in Buxtehude, because I've never been. So, or I've been fast, but I haven't, get the results. And everyone say that Buxtehude is a track that it's a lot of lottery in the first corner and so on. But Eckstrom and Solberg cannot have good lottery for 4 years in a row, and they have been fast. So it's not only, coincidence that they have been very fast.
And from your perspective, have you managed to enjoy being double world champion since America?
Yes, I have a little bit, but for sure, I've been very busy to watch the onboards and to prepare for this one. So I started actually already between Sunday and Monday after Texas to prepare for this one to make a good result here.
Well done in this one. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yohan very happy with that, as you would imagine. And of course, his teammate Solberg on the inside slot. The drivers yesterday were saying that, getting the whole shot up to turn one is great, but actually all you're doing then is waiting to feel if you get a nudge from behind, because that one nudge, Tim, when you're already on the limit, can send you how far past the apex.
Yeah, it was interesting. Christopherson didn't try and hug the apex, did he? He came from the outside, but he left room on the inside in case there was somebody there.
Yeah.
Sensible, very sensible.
Exactly. You don't get picked up, you don't fall victim. Yeah. And what he was saying now, people tell me it's a lottery. It's almost like he's looked at it, done his homework and gone, okay, it is a lottery, but I'm going to make allowances.
Yeah, I'll minimise the chances.
Yeah. Capacity crowd here at the Estering this weekend, and my goodness me, they're lucky with the weather. We're talking high 20s Celsius. I've changed into the shorts. Tim Harvey has not bought shorts with him. Breaking news, I've tried to get him to cut the jeans off, but it's not happening, Tim, no?
Look, as Neil Cole said, this is rock and roll, mate, and I can take the heat.
Cyril Raymond pulling up to the line, P3 in the European Rallycross Championship of Supercars this year. Of course, he won RX2 2 years in a row. The first year it was called RX Lights, and his prize drive was a supercar drive here with OMSC in 2013. He's been here in a supercar. He was incredible in the Euros this year. He missed the first round and still got third place. Kind of in bed with Peugeot, a French driver. The future looks strong for him. And we know he's fast.
Yeah, he was a little ragged in practice. Clipped the barriers twice, I noticed. Needs to get a little bit of precision into the drive.
Here's your grid then for race 2 of Q1. Solberg on the inside. Can he beat his teammate's time? Yannis Balmanis. Then we've got Larson, Cyril Raymond and Kevin Eriksson. Larson and Eriksson. So I was lucky enough to stand on the inside of turn 1, and you have never seen two such spectacular sideways maximum attack drivers as these two. Of course, Kevin with the famous round the outside move. I went and saw him yesterday. He was actually watching that on board for his homework. So why this one? He says because it's nice to start the weekend on a positive. So will he start the weekend on a positive this time? Solberg reaches down, prepares the car for launch. We are ready to race. Look at the fans in the background. It's such a great view from the pre-grid here. Really good start. Eriksson on the outside, Larson too. Solberg, those got the inside line. Balmanis gets squeezed out. Contact between Balmanis and Larson. Eriksson on the bar, round the outside. Exactly what Solberg said yesterday in the press conference. I won't let him do it again. And he's up the inside. Solberg's got the inside line on the run down the hill towards the bottom corner. He's offline on the dirt. Solberg's late on the brakes, but he gets in front of Eriksson.
Oh my goodness. The crowd were on their feet with that one.
Amazing.
And he just knew what he was thinking sitting on the grid there. I'm going to do this.
Amazing. And he gets a little nudge on the exit. Yeah. Fair enough, though.
The thing is, though, from pole, you have to brake early because the corner's tighter from the inside.
And that's why the round the outside move works here, doesn't it? I mean, I love the fact that it doesn't. Tim, these 4-wheel drive 600 horsepower cars are really the only race cars in which you can do the round the outside move.
And that's why it's such a perfect first corner. Pole isn't necessarily the advantage you think.
No, exactly. You could get, say, well, was that locked wheel for Eriksson, or is that smoke from Eriksson's car? We know they've had a lot of engine changes. I think it was a locked wheel. Larson in behind him. Oh, these guys, they're so good up at turn 1. I really hope you get to see Eriksson and Larson into turn 1. If they take the standard lap, which Eriksson and Larson both do, watch these guys as they come up, because they go for super sideways on the way. There is a bit of smoke from the rear right. Look at Solberg here, watching the background. Eriksson, Larson, just all fully rotated way before the apex.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch. I think that's just a bit of bodywork rubbing on the tyre. It's not serious as long as it doesn't cut it.
Look at the dust though, Tim. You know, the visibility's tricky, and although this is one of the shortest circuits, that back straight is downhill. It's actually one of the fastest points on any track in the season.
Yeah, the really tricky bit actually is through the final chicane. That's really tricky for dust as well, because you need to clip the barriers or be as close as you can.
Solberg, fastest lap of the day, 34.509. Is it going to be enough to edge Christopherson? We've got a lap to wait to find out. The front three, of course, haven't choken. Cyril Raymond has. Raymond not quite on the pace I was expecting, but we'll see. So, yeah, fastest lap of the day, 34.4. So Solberg is going quicker. Tim, is the track cleaning?
I don't think so, but I honestly think Solberg's in the zone. Remember how good he was at Kota? He's come with the same impetus.
Solberg then feeling physically better than he has been for a lot of the season, enters the Joker lap into the right. It's wider than it was before, super close to the apex. Run that wall tight on the gas. What's the target time? Can he beat it? He does. Solberg goes 8/10 quicker than Yohan Christopherson. That is a brilliant drive.
Yeah, he smashed it because he had to fight for the first corner. He wasn't clearly ahead, but he's delivered the fastest time. Solberg's back.
8/10 too. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good margin. The VW's looking good. Solberg and Christopherson. Yeah, he'll be happy. We're going to get some quotes. We're going to get some quotes from that man this weekend.
We are.
There's nothing like a happy Solberg back on where he feels he belongs. Here's your result.
That's where he likes to feel he belongs, to 24.749. Then you got Kevin Eriksson, good drive by him. Balmanis, Larson, Raymond a little way, not too far off. I mean, look at the times, they're fairly close. It's just that Petter Solberg has made them look not quite so quick. So, in fact, from the first race, look, Markland, Backward and Christopherson have done really well. They're up there in the top 4, but Solberg is the current fastest driver in Q1. Great drive with 2 fastest laps in there. Is the track developing? Maybe Neil Cole can find out from Petter.
Petter, that was a very impressive time. You've beaten Yohan. You're clearly back 100%.
Yeah, it was good. He lost a little bit in the first corner there. I braked too early to save it, and then he came fast on the outside. I know I have a good traction, so I tried to keep it calm inside, and I pulled away on the gravel. But I tried. Did a couple of mistakes, a little bit too slow into the joker lap for safety, and well, we will see how long it's keep. You know, it's a little bit cleaning also at the same time, so not too bad. Not the perfect, you know, like really proper drive, but it was okay.
Not too bad. Well done, thank you.
There's another look at the start. Ericsson, look, hooked it up really nicely. In fact, it was pretty straight across the line. Then once you get to that kink, look, Valmanis got all out of shape. Look at the exit here. Solberg said yesterday in the press, I won't let him do that again. And he did well to find the traction to stay inside Ericsson there, I think.
Yeah, he did. The momentum was on the outside, wasn't it? But I think because Solberg got the car stopped, he was back on the power, going forwards a little bit earlier.
Ericsson's done well there. I mean, you know, obviously we know Solberg and the Volkswagen are extremely strong. A little bit of smoke from the rear tyre, nothing too major. A few people with a little bit of work to do, and of course we've got 2 races still to go. So, you know, maybe the gravel's sweeping a little bit. Both the gravel sections are recently rebuilt, and that possibly means that, you know, there's some loose stuff to run off the surface.
Yeah, but we've had quite a lot of practice. It's 40% gravel here, but, you know, I honestly think that was just a genuinely quicker time, and Solberg thinks there's more to come.
Goodness me. He took TQ here last year with 2 broken ribs and a broken collarbone after the crash in Latvia. Solberg took TQ in that condition. You know, so he's come here this time, he didn't convert it. You know, come the semis and the finals, he didn't get the win. But yeah, could he do it this year? And of course, he'd be desperate to, Tim, because that one mistake at Kotor, one mistake. And who was there? Yohan.
And there were people saying, oh, he let him through, or no way did he. Absolutely no way. That was just a mistake. He'll be kicking himself. Back to full health after the lung problems he's had actually for the last 12 months.
Yeah, since Latvia. That was when they discovered it, when they scanned him for the broken bones.
A fit, healthy, determined, inspired Solberg is what the fans love, and we love watching him.
Absolutely, especially on a committed track like this. Eckstrom on the inside, won the world title here a couple of years ago. It's a track that holds strong memories for him. Of course, he won the race here last year. In fact, that's his last win. Of course, disqualified from his Barcelona win earlier this year. Could Eckstrom take another win here? Be good for Audi to win at home in Germany. Gregoire de Moustier, Timozyanov, Ollie Bennett and Timmy Hansen. Timmy on the outside, saying yesterday it's not the end of the world to be out there. He did also say it depended on the starts inside him. Now, Ollie Bennett's doing well this year. He's learning the various different tracks. It's his first time at Estering, but the Mini has a Pipo engine, and it's a very strong starter, or it has been. It's been a strong starter and strong through the gears. So Hansen will want some space. Will he get it? Good start by Bennett, but on the inside it's Eckstrom versus Timozyanov. Bennett's going to slide into third. Timmy's going to try the outside move. Have a look at the Hansen Peugeot on the gas early. Going to be between him and Eckstrom. Eckstrom and Hansen down the hill, and Timozyanov on the inside lost loads of momentum, Tim.
Yeah, he couldn't get it off the corner for whatever reason.
No, and he looked to have the inside of Timmy.
Yeah, and Hansen did it around the outside again, and that's where it's loosest. The gravel's actually loosest on the outside, but good first corner.
So let's see then who's quicker, the Peugeot or the Audi, and whether either of them decides to joker early. So close together. Literally, we are looking out of our window here, and you can see the driver's hands at work. It's such a wonderful position to be in. Timmy looking really, really good to me, but obviously they can't afford to joker him early, Tim, because they'll drop him into traffic.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to stick with this. Eckstrom should be quick enough for him to go with him, but he's actually putting the pressure on.
He's all over it.
Yeah,
so Timmy Hansen, and you can see it's hard to pass him. We know that from when Kevin, of course, got the lead with that around the outside move a couple of years ago. They couldn't get through, and come the joker, he still got the job done. He had to put in the laps to take the win, but Timmy is looking fast. He can't find a way through, and he obviously doesn't feel he can joker because the car's behind.
He'll drop back in behind slower cars, so he's got to go with this. They'll probably do it.
Oh, Eckstrom will not like that. Hansen and Eckstrom have got a little bit of a feud going on at the minute. If you watch Nitro games, things weren't exactly rosy there, and I think it's fair to say they weren't rosy either in Kotor. They had contact on the last lap of the final at the last round of the World Championship. Hansen putting Eckstrom into the wall along with himself, and the steward stepped in and penalised Hansen, dropped him back to 6th place. So these two at the minute, as I say, racing really, really hard. Hansen trying to go up the outside of Eckstrom on the way into the joke lap. Now, he's not going to get past him here. To be fair, the contact hasn't affected Eckstrom too much, but the race between these two continues to be very, very exciting indeed. Up into the first corner, and Eckstrom still leading Hansen. I'm actually surprised Hansen went in with him, Tim. Why not wait for the 4th lap?
Yeah, I actually think it looks a bit dramatic. I don't think he thought that Eckstrom was going to take it. I think they made the decision.
So he committed early. Yeah. And why? Because the pacing, you can't change your mind?
Well, I don't know whether it was the spotter calling it or not, but Eckstrom did the right thing to go in as well, because he ended up blocking it. This is a good race. I don't think it's going to be as quick as the first two.
So Eckstrom takes it. Contact from Hansen again in this right-hander up at the spot down. Not going to lie, I do enjoy a little bit of an on-track disagreement, let's say.
Yeah, I'm sure Neil will be straight down there with the question on that. But the crowd actually love eating dust here, so that's fine. Enthusiastic crowd. But yeah, Hansen was fast. He was fast there.
He was faster for me. Yeah. I think he was. I don't know if he was as fast as the Volkswagens. He was I think he was faster than Eckstrom. But as you say, you know, we look at the approach to the Joker here, Tim. It's considerably quicker, isn't it, into the Joker, that attack line. And I guess if you've committed to it, really, if the guy in front goes in, you kind of got to go with it. He won't have lost a ton of time by following Eckstrom. We know Eckstrom's really fast, but let's see how damaging that was when we see where they slot in a moment. Eckstrom takes it from Hansen, Timosyanov, Bennett and Demoustier, and this is where the times sit, so not as quick as the Volkswagens. But I'll tell you what, look, Eckstrom's only 2 seconds off Solberg, and Hansen looked a bit quicker to me. Okay, Hansen, as I say, couldn't get the job done, but I think Hansen would be fairly close to Christopherson, maybe not to Solberg. He's going to have to get a clear run if we want to see the true pace of that Peugeot. Interesting stuff, and I say Timmy and Matthias have had a couple of on-track altercations, and that was another exciting one.
Matthias, a great race win, but you probably don't need me to tell you that Timmy was trying to get past you from behind.
Sorry?
You probably don't need me to tell you that Timmy was trying to get past you.
I saw it, and yeah, you race, when you do like this, you race like it would be a final in the heat, so it's cool for the spectators, but not good for the time.
And do you think it was fair all the way through?
No, it doesn't really matter, it's the way we have stewards.
Thank you, well done.
Well, okay, big smiles from Eckstrom. You know, what Eckstrom's saying there is, you know, is true, Tim. If you race, you damage the time. But Hansen doesn't want to follow him because he obviously feels he's quicker. So if you're in the second car, you know, you have to make that decision. Do I follow and not lose 2/10 a lap from the fight, or do I try and get past and see if I can save 5/10?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I didn't see that Hansen did anything wrong. He was just quicker. He was frustrated. You know, that's a little bit of frustration there. It's not a deliberate attempt to push him wide, just frustration because he's faster and he wants the best time. This is where he committed to the outside. It's almost as though Eckstrom looked in the mirror and thought, right, I'm going as well because I'll block you.
Yeah, interesting. Hansen, and of course, if you do move to the outside, if you follow the inside car into the braking point, you have to brake before then accelerating into the Joker lap. So it was quite clever of Hansen to do that. Timmer over the line. So it was interesting what we're talking about. Hansen, if you take the right-hander into the Joker with the 2 cars behind, the front car's going to go standard lap. If you wait for them to go standard lap, you have to brake and then accelerate past them. And Hansen went, as you say, he went early to gas it into the Joker.
Yeah, because you carry more speed into the Joker, even though you're then slower through the corner, but you carry more speed in. And I think Eckstrom saw it and just blocked him.
Okay, well, there you go. It was a good race between those two. Looking forward to seeing that unfold. Of course, Timmy not in the fight for second in the championship, so just be looking for honour for Peugeot. Desperate, of course, to take that win. Peugeot and Audi would both like to take a win. Loeb took one earlier this year.
I mean, Timmy took the Nitro RX win, his first big win in supercars, really.
Yeah, for a long time.
You know, he wants more.
For a long time. I think Timmy's last win in World Championship was Canada 16. Backwards last one was Argentina 16. Yeah, and obviously that's a mark of the dominance of Christopherson in some ways. I mean, Christopherson, I think, is on, I can't remember how many wins he's on at the minute, career wins, but he stands, if he takes 10 this year, he'll have taken the same number of wins as Solberg and Eckstrom have in their total careers in one season. Yeah, so Christopherson's on 18 at the minute. Solberg and Eckstrom are on 10 each in their careers. Yeah. So it could win 10
in 1 year, the same as their career total.
Incredible.
It is incredible. It is an incredible. I mean, you know, Hal Ridge, our house expert, pulled up a good thing. Yeah, he wouldn't have won in Spain but for the disqualification. Yeah. There were a couple of other things that have gone his way.
Absolutely.
But you can't argue with the statistics.
No, I spoke to Yohan yesterday. We drove back from town after we'd done an interview that you'll see in the TV show later on today. And, you know, I said the same thing. I said, to be honest with you, I said, the first 3 events didn't really go your way. He's like, no, not at all. He wasn't comfortable in the car. It just wasn't coming together. And yet, somehow he pulled it together.
Yeah, there is also this element when it comes to the final, he finds a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Gets to the semis and the finals, he finds that bit extra, refines himself over the course of the weekend. But, yeah,
Super focus.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
What a season.
I wonder, incredible. Will he make it, can he make it 10 out of 11 or maybe even 11 out? If it's 11 out of 12, he'd be livid that he lost Belgium to this man, Sebastian Loeb.
The only other man to win this year.
Yeah, fantastic on board with Loeb. I love this angle where you can really see them working. We've got another rear shot sometimes where you can see the pedals too. So Loeb takes that inside slot. Is it where you want to be? Do you get the whole shot? Do you get a nudge from behind? He's got Schischerit, Gronholm, Doran and Kevin Hansen will all be equally keen to beat him up to that first corner. Hopefully not beat him up in the corner. Two of the GCK machines, I say they've been working hard on the starts. Going to find out whether or not that work's paid off. Gronholm having a brilliant season, ahead of Kevin Hansen in the standings in the third Peugeot. Great start, Schischerit, really, really good. Is it enough to shut the door on Loeb? He's going to squeeze him up towards the wall, but Kevin Hansen has done them all on the way up to turn one. Gronholm trying for the round the outside. Kevin, I think, will hold on the inside. Good traction from Loeb. Is he alongside Gronholm or is Gronholm in front? Oh, it's going to be tight on the run down to the brakes. Loeb pulls fifth gear. He's on the dirt on the inside, and he has to give second best to Gronholm.
Work to do for Loeb now, but that was a great start by Hansen, and he didn't do it on the brakes into the corner. He got it off the line.
Yeah, really impressive from the outside slot as well. So just took the traction up, into the Joker lap goes Schischerit, Liam Doran running at the back of the pack of the cars on the standard lap. Kevin Hansen leading from Nicolas Gronholm. Two drivers, I think, you could say for the future. I mean, obviously, for now, they're going very well. Gronholm looking up the inside there at Kevin, but Kevin with a wider line and a little bit more momentum.
Yeah, I was watching Nicolas Gronholm doing his stretching exercise earlier. I mean, boy, is that boy bendy, I can tell you. He can stretch with the best of them. But yeah, looking very serious and getting the results.
Super tall as well, isn't he? Like his dad, Nicolas and Marcus, both very, very tall indeed. Nicolas was saying to me yesterday, just such an improvement in reliability and in his driving. Loeb goes Joker, Doran goes with him, Schischerit goes standard lap, and Schischerit managed to get the overlap on either of these two. Loeb manages to get back out in front, Schischerit drops in front of his teammate Liam Doran. Liam was playing a development role in America. He was running settings on the car out of the World Championship to try and help the guys who were in it. Of course, they're learning every circuit, Tim, and whereas everybody else has got data.
Yeah, and you can't run data gathering on the cars during the season, only in testing, and testing very limited. But just another observation, watching out here this morning, you know, I'm convinced the Peugeots have ramped up the power a little bit. They are really seriously quick. I don't think they've got the traction the BMW still has, but in terms of power, they've got it.
Interesting to find out if they're maybe testing stuff for next year, because Timmy's done a couple of engines now and taken a penalty for it. Obviously knew they weren't going to win the championship, so maybe he goes, you know what, let's see how far we can run the engine before it goes pop. Yeah. I don't know, just theorising, but Kevin leading. That's the time bomb to right of your screen, 2:24.7 of Solberg. Christopherson 1 and 2 in this one. Has Kevin got anything to match that pace? If he has, it's pretty incredible. He was good here last year. Straight and tidy into the Joker lap. It's not going to match the time of Solberg. On the power now, Loeb coming around the standard lap. Doesn't quite get Gronholm. 2:26.3 for Kevin Hansen. It's still a good time. Good enough for third.
Yeah, good enough for third. And Gronholm quick as well, because he's only half a second behind.
See the dust in the background there. It's going to be tough as the day goes on in terms of visibility. But good job, Kevin Hansen. Rolling down to the bottom. That's so fast down there, and in that dust, trying to judge your braking points all gets a little bit exciting. Hansen takes it from Gronholm, Loeb, Schischerit and Liam Doran. This is where they slot in. Kevin, P3, that is really, really impressive. Look at that, he's just 8 tenths off the back of Christopherson. We know Timmy could have been a bit quicker, but Kevin, in the older specification car, doing a fantastic job to go P3. Gronholm, likewise, brilliant to be in P5. So Kevin Hansen, the best of the Peugeots in the older car. Solberg, though, takes Q1. Take another look at this start, Tim. On board with Gronholm, Kevin to the left.
Yeah, well, look at the power. That's, I mean, okay, it's traction as well, but the power is there. And he gets all the way across the inside, blocks very neatly, doesn't over-rotate, gets the car straight. Gronholm does a great first corner as well, around the outside. Loeb, slightly disappointed. Liam Doran, a bit of contact there. Down to turn 2, the tight hairpin. Loeb's down in third. He options to go down the Joker fairly early, not this lap, but the next lap. Oh no, it is this lap, to try and build some space for it, but it wasn't enough to overcome Gronholm for second.
Really, really good drive. Loving that yellow car. Just looks absolutely fantastic. Into the right and then the left. Yeah, really, really impressive. I wonder what Peugeot will do to try and get the pace of the other two cars up to that of the slightly older machine. Solberg takes for Christopherson, Hansen, Eckstrom, Gronholm, Bakker, Timmy Hansen and Sebastian Loeb down in P8. Great stuff from Q1. Look at that. Mark and Ericsson, Shishrik Bauman is currently in the top 12. Everybody else looking for a place in the semis. 3 to go.
Yeah, I've just managed to catch up with Timmy Hansen down here. The car's just come in, but first of all, great race there by Kevin.
Yeah, I'm really proud of him. What a race he put together in his car. He won 3rd fastest overall. I think I'm a proud brother now.
Yeah, and it's great to be in the team while you're watching him and Sebastian in the same race, because anything, you know, can go wrong if you've got teammates in the race. Now, talk us through your race. It looked like you had more speed than Matthias Eckstrom.
Yeah, so first of all, in the draw, I got the 5th slot, so it's not easy from out there. But some inspiration from Kevin Eriksson around the outside got me into 2nd place out of the 1st corner. Then I think Matthias spent most of the race looking in...
Have a look, we can show it back to you, okay. And you can talk us through it actually by watching it. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I was able to stay super close the whole time on his bumper. I was looking for a gap, of course, but I didn't want to play anything ugly, so it was really fair driving. Here he called my move into the Joker. So he was very worried about our speed, I think. And on the gravel, he was keeping really tight lines. I think he was more looking on his mirrors than looking forward.
Now, was there a last-minute decision to Joker, or could you not change your mind? Because it looked like if you hadn't followed him in, you might have got the undercut.
Yeah, we decided to go to the Joker, and I think it was so I had already made my decision with all that speed you have to carry into there, and he called it. He saw I was wide, he saw I had a lot of speed, so he just went in as well.
And this is the end. Now, obviously, we know that you have a little bit of history with Matthias. There's a bit of contact here, but as far as you're concerned, that's fair contact, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. There is nothing that puts him out of balance. Okay. So I think that's important. Rallycross is a contact sport, but you should never ever move anybody out of their line. So I think I played a fair game here. He was probably very worried, but no, it was a good race in the end. We lost a bit of time, though.
And it didn't harm the times that much, though, because you're still in a good position.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was 4th, and me 7th. So could have been better, but could have been worse.
But it's great to watch some racing, and the crowd certainly enjoyed it. Let's just bring in all the rest of the Hansens. We've got Kenneth and Kevin. First of all, how proud are you of these two boys? Did well today so far?
Yeah, of course I'm proud. I mean, they managed to do things. Timmy made a very good start. From the beginning, he lost a little, and then he catch up, and he really stressed Matthias. And Kevin, yeah, he's always strong in the start, so you can never count him out. And I think all the guys that are aside of him on the queues are worried because he starts so well, and he's fast also.
And yeah, if you can pass the microphone to Kevin, you've just fresh out of the car. We just watched that race. Impressive. I mean, your brother was certainly very impressed.
Yeah, it was a great race. I knew from the outside here in Germany it's tricky, so I was hoping we could go around the outside, and it worked out, so very happy with that. And then on the run, I did my best, and still not 100% with the car, but if you have a launch like that, you get so much adrenaline, so then you don't care about the car. You go flat out, and it just have to be fast.
And do you think that the track has evolved, and also it's sunshine and hot out there? I mean, are we in Estering in October? It's crazy. How is that?
We have been here for many, many years, and I think never we have this good weather. But the track is very different compared to the last years. It's always been very bumpy. We have seen the cars on the top on 3 wheels and everything, but this year it's flat and nice, and a bit too nice in my opinion. We want the rough all the time.
Well, look, well done in Q1 as a team. I know you've got to go and have a debrief, so if you hand the microphone back to Ollie, and we'll see you later in Q2.
Thank you.
So, yeah, qualifying 2 will be coming up very shortly. We've got 2 cars in, and you'll be able to see Sebastian Loeb's car coming in very, very shortly. The Rallycross community is very much a family, and we'd just like to send out our love and regards to Paul Hewitt and his son Frank, who's had some very bad news since COTA. So if you can help, please go to the website below us, the charity, and we send all of our love from the World Rallycross community to hope that the treatment goes well. But yes, we have got qualifying 2 coming up in about an hour and a half, so probably just enough time to go and have some lunch, whatever time zone you're in, breakfast, dinner. Here comes Sebastian Loeb, and this is 3 Peugeots on a mission to take the spoils from Christopherson here in Estering. We will see you. Thank you very much to the TV team and to Andrew Coley and Tim Harvey. See you very shortly. Bye-bye.